Hey, how's it going? Today we're going to be doing a quick overview of the new T-Series controllers from Haute42 or CosmoX, as they've released their new revision of the T-Series, which has an extra 12 button layout, crystal switches, and some minor adjustments. So inside the box we get an instruction manual, a USB-C cable, different menu caps, an extra switch and switch puller, and some updated rubber feet that are larger and flatter. Now for the actual controller, we have clear menu button caps and our crystal switches. Here's a better look at it since I kind of messed up with the unboxing angle, but with it plugged in we can see how well the LEDs shine through, as these use the Kailh Choc V2 Crystal switches, so they're really vibrant. These buttons are also reactive, and as we press on each button they'll flash white, and we can also cycle through the LED options by holding start, select, and our one punch button. And these LEDs can be changed in the web configurator, as they do use GP2040CE firmware for these controllers. At the top left we have our turbo button along with our input viewer, which flashes whenever we press our buttons, and this is just a nice extra visual, and it can also be used for troubleshooting. For our menu options we have start, select, home, capture, right stick, and left stick button. Also, something I noticed is that the top and bottom panels might be slightly frosted as the text is a bit blurry. Moving on, we have our USB-C port centered at the top, and at the top right we have our USB-A slot to allow adapters like the Mayflash V1.1, Wingman FGC, and a couple of other options listed on the GP2040CE website. These adapters need to be plugged in for authentication on the PS4 for all games with no timeout, but for the PS5 it only works for fighting games. Now the reason you'll need these adapters is to remove any timeouts after 8 minutes, since the PS4 and PS5 do authentication checks to check for licensed controllers. If we take a look at one of the sides, we can see how it uses layered acrylic for its build, so you can add art between the layers for added customization. If you want to access the web configurator, you need to hold start as you plug in your controller, and you'll see your screen on the controller have a different look to it, and you'll want to make your way to this URL. Now in this video, I won't really cover much of the web configurator as I have done so in previous videos, but if you want to make any changes, at the very least, go to configuration, data backup and restoration, and save yourself a copy of your current settings. That way if anything goes wrong, you can always load that file to go back to those default settings. An added note is that this is on the 0.7.7 Haute42 custom build by default, so if you make your way to settings, go to the PS4 mode, you'll notice it's already on arcade stick mode, so you won't need to make any changes, and you can plug your adapters right in and use them on the PS4 or PS5. Now if you do want to update it, make sure you're getting the specific Haute42 build, which you can find on the GitHub for GP2040CE. And you'll also want to make sure that you nuke your controller first before adding any new firmware, as you can cause issues if you don't do so. Now this is obviously more or less basically just like the original T-Series controllers. However, it is nice to see some quality of life changes, like having the option for a 12 button layout, since we know a lot of people in the community have been asking them for that. Just, obviously these are all the same buttons and they lean on the larger side, so a lot of people still do want one with smaller buttons and a large jump button, but maybe we'll see that in the future. And then we also have the crystal switches, which kind of add a weightier press, especially towards the center of it. So with the red switches, they were linear, they just went straight down, but these, while they do go straight down, they do have a bit of extra force around the center for a more weighty press. And another quality of life addition is that these menu caps are, or the menu buttons rather, are more like the M16 or the M series in general, as they're a lot easier to press because doing things like pressing start to pause the game or select to reset training is a lot easier since the other buttons had a bit more resistance, but with these they go down straight and it's really easy to press them without hurting your fingers, so that's really nice. Now, if you're interested in picking one up for yourself, you can always head over to the Haute42.com website where you can learn more about each of their controllers. And in the top right, at the where to buy section, you can find different links for all their stores, with their global one leading to their AliExpress page, and all subsequent ones being for their Amazon pages in the different regions. As for the US, they also have their 6 Sir Amazon page, so you can also find the Crystal series there. Anyways, thanks for watching, let me know if you have any questions, and please consider subscribing. Thank you.